our goal here is to write each decimal as a fraction in the simplest form. So these are all written as decimals, and what I'm going to do is just say them out loud. So for number 1, I have 4/10ths. So it's really important that we know our place value, and especially the ones that come to the right or after the decimal point. So for number 1, 4/10ths, because 4 is in the tenths place value. So I said 4/10ths, so I'm going to write that just like it sounds as a fraction, 4/10ths. Now that's not the simplest form, because I know the GCF of 4 and 10 is 2. So I can divide each of these by 2, and I get 2/5. Now that one's done. So for number 2, I'm going to come over here and say this just like it would sound. So 64, and this is the hundredths spot. So 64 hundredths. I'm going to write it exactly like I said. It's 64 hundredths. Now they're both even. So I know the GCF of 64 and 100, or I know a common factor of 64 and 100 is 2. So I'm going to divide each of these by 2, and when I do that, I get 32, and that would be 50ths. Again, they're both even, so I can keep simplifying them until I can't go any further. 32 divided by 2 is 16, and 50 divided by 2 is 25. Now, I think that is simplified because there's not a common factor that 25 and 16 share. So that would be my answer. For this one, I have 2 and 75 hundredths. So I'm going to write this one just like it sounds. 2, it's a whole number, and 75 hundredths. Now this is a mixed number because I do have a 2 here. Now this is 75 100ths. So it's like saying how many quarters out of $1 do I have. And I have to keep my whole number there, but I can simplify the fraction part. How many quarters would I have if I have 75 cents? I would have 3 quarters out of a full dollar, which is 4 quarters. So I have 2 and 3/4. And that is how we write each decimal as a fraction in simplest form.